Good morning to Dr. Malik. My name is Lakshman. I am from Group 7 and I am presenting today our internal penetration test on subnet 1 of Venture Syndrome Network. In this video, I will demonstrate a complete attack chain following the zero entry hacking methodology. So, for this video, I have picked one attacker machine and one victim machine. Attacker machine is Kali Linux and the victim machine which I have choose is Windows 7, and the Windows 7 endpoint IP address is 150.7.0.15. My attacker workstation is Kali Linux at 150.7.0.10. I will execute all 5 zero entry hacking phases, which is reconnaissance, scanning, exploitation, maintaining access, and reporting. And I am going to exploit the famous vulnerability, which is MS17010 Eternal Blue vulnerability. The same exploit used in the 2017 WannaCry incident, the famous exploit in the real world. So before we move on to the phase 1, I need to make sure the Kali Linux is ready for the attack. So let me make sure. I just clear the old command. Okay, this is the proof I am using my Kali Linux. So this is my Kali Linux IP address. I am running as the Kali user on my attacker workstation at 150.7.0.10. Okay, so let's begin the phase 1, which is reconnaissance. The goal is to discover Windows 7 hosts on the target subnet without prior knowledge. So I'm going to use two complementary tools, which is the ARP scan for layer 2 discovery and Nmap for layer 3 ping sweep. So let me show you. This command is for target to scan the Windows 7 hosts which Kali Linux can detect or not. So as you guys can see, the Kali Linux has been found the Windows 7 host, which is the 150.7.0.15. so this is the IP address of Windows 7. So the host scanning is complete. Next, let me confirm with the Nmap ping sweep command. Let me type this command. Nmap scan report for 150.7.0.15, which is the Windows 7 host, and the 7.0.1 is the pfSense IP address. So this means the host is up and the scanning also successful. Let's move on to the phase 2. Okay, for the phase 2, I need to enumerate the open ports and identify service versions on the Windows 7 target. The course requires Nmap and Nessus to be used in this phase. The scanning is complete, and the scan result shows that port 445 is open and it is running Microsoft SMB. The OS fingerprint confirms this host is a Microsoft Windows 7. Port 445 plus Windows 7 is a critical combination. This is exactly the attack surface targeted by MS17010 Eternal Blue. Let me confirm the vulnerability using Nmap's NSC vulnerability script. Vulnerability scanning is complete, and here is the conclusive evidence. The SMB vulnerability MS17010 script explicitly flags this host as vulnerable with CVE 20170143 reference and risk factor high, this means the Eternal Blue exploit will succeed. So phase 2 complete. We have identified a critical vulnerability. So now it's time to exploit. Okay, let's begin the phase 3 exploitation. This course requires Metasploit framework and Meterpreter to be used in this phase. So I'm going to launch MSF console and execute the Eternal Blue exploit. Let me get into the Metasploit framework. After I get into the Metasploit framework, I'm going to select the Eternal Blue as my exploit module. So I'm successfully get into the Metasploit framework. So I'm going to use the Eternal Blue exploit. Okay, I set ready the exploit Eternal Blue. Now I'm going to set the target IP address and my local attacker IP address, which is the Kali Linux IP address. I'm going to use the port number 5555 for the reverse correction because port 4444 may be reserved by previous Metasploit sessions in our wider testing. So I'm going to set the port into 555 and the payload is a 64-bit Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP shell. Okay, I set ready the payload. Before exploiting, let me verify the target is vulnerable. Yeah, I get the result. The host is likely vulnerable. So I confirm ready. Now I'm going to launch the exploit. And there it is. I am exploited ready. The buffer overflow succeeded. Eternal Blue override completed and a Meterpreter session has opened to the Windows 7 target. So now I'm going to get the details of the Windows 7 because I exploit ready. So I'm going to use this command and I get the server username NT authority system. This is the highest privilege level on Windows, higher than even the administrator account. Now I have completed control of the Windows 7 machine. So next I'm going to type this command. So I can confirming the target. The computer name is Lakshman PC and the OS is Windows 7 and also it's a 64-bit system and this is our target. Next I'm going to type this command and here is the database dump all local user accounts and their NTLM password hashes including the administrator account These hashes can be cracked offline using tools like Hashcat or John the Ripper. So the phase 3 is completed. So next is the phase 4, maintaining access or post exploitation. The course requires Netcat to be used in this phase. While I have a Meterpreter session active, I want to demonstrate establishing persistent access on the target. Let me show you. Okay, why I type this command. This command shows the running processes to make our access more durable. I am going to migrate our Meterpreter session into a long life process like Explorer exe. So we maintain access across user sessions. Okay, I'm going to type this command. Okay, the migrating is one process and the migrating completed successfully. So now our session is hosted by Explorer exe, making it harder to detect and more resilient. Additionally, for our broader engagement, my teammates video demonstrate establishing a Netcat backdoor on a Linux target in Subnet 2, providing a complete coverage of both Windows and Linux persistent techniques across our pen test. So that's all for the phase 4. So as a final demonstration, let me take a screenshot of the compromised Windows 7 desktop. So okay, the screenshot capture lady. Let me show the screenshot for the visual proof of compromise. So this is the Windows 7 screenshot which I take from the Kali Linux. That's all for the phase 4. Okay, for the phase 5 is the reporting, and also it's our conclusion. All the evidence captured during the demonstration and the command outputs, terminal logs, everything is preserved in the pentest evidence directory on my Kali workstation. And also all the screenshots commands are comprehensively documented in our written pentest report and submitted to the venture Sabdirabahat. That's all from me, and I'm conclude my presentation, and thanks to Dr. Malik to give this opportunity.